Ready? I'm ready. Good evening. I would like to call to order the Village of Roscoe Board meeting. It's Tuesday, July 2nd. Shall we all stand for pledge of allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Babcock,
Here.
Malco,
Here.
Petty, here, Sima,
Here.
Wright,
Here.
Gustafson.
Here, item number one, may I have a motion to approve the minutes from our June 4th meeting?
So moved. Second.
Anyone have any corrections or comments? Hearing none?
Babcock,
Yes.
Petty,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Sima,
Yes.
Malco.
Yes.
Item two, may I have a motion to approve the minutes of the village board meeting from June 18th?
So moved. Second.
Malco,
Yes.
Petty,
Yes.
Sima,
Yes.
Babcock,
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Public comment? Hearing none? Okay, moving on, my report. I just have a couple of short announcements. First, I wanted to share with you that Troy Taylor's daughter, Avery, had finished third in the state of Illinois in a contest. This contest centered around Educators Rising Club out of Harlem High School. She wrote a book and her book finished third in the state competition. So Avery and her mom took a trip to Washington, DC, June 28th through July 1st, where Avery was in competition with 3 other book writers and over 3,300 kids who showed up in Washington, DC. Now, while Avery did not finish in the top 10, they are awaiting her placement. But nevertheless, to have done so well in the state and to be honored by getting to Washington, DC to participate in national competition is really something to be saluted. And so, good job on Avery's part. The theme of Avery's book, I think, probably touched the heart of a lot of young people. It was a story about dealing with struggles and growing up and achievements and how everything finally turns out in the end. And she used as her metaphor a Christmas tree that finally becomes the tree at Rockefeller Center. So good job, cute thing. And it's going to be published. Maybe, maybe, or a short version, and we could perhaps have representation at our Christmas event coming in fall, December here. We'll see, we'll work on it, see where we are with that.
Could we somehow draft a certificate in a frame?
Good. Good, yeah, great idea.
Be great.
And also wanted to thank Trustee Petty who sent forward, we now have a date for a public meeting for North Point's build out for their request to establish a neighborhood hospital. And the village, you have officially signed on your support for this, you submitted that well over 2 or 3 weeks ago. And I've arranged through John Cabela's office, meeting of local legislators and other interested people, and that will take place July 30th in his office, where again, North Point can acquaint people with their concept and they can get local representatives, state representatives on board if they so like to promote this. So again, if you are available on August 13th, it will happen at the Township Community Center on Honolulu Road. Maybe
1 o'clock. I think it was. I looked at it today. Can we go to the July 30th?
no, in in this sense. It was going to be a limited meeting of just state representatives, and it was going to happen in his office,
So are you going?
I don't know. I've attended other meetings and heard this, signed on before. It's just an informational piece to state legislators who are not familiar with what North Point's plans are
1:30 P.M.
Yeah. on 30.
August 13th.
Just an FYI, Jamie and I, Police Evans and I went down years ago to the joint accreditation, help me out, girl. This board, it's a board, statewide board, to promote North Point. And they built surgical in the back, a surgical annex. And they wanted to build more, and they were blocked.
Well, this is the more.
Yeah. And so Jamie testified. And at the time, this is what I remember. I remember sitting in a room, Jamie and I and the Beloit Memorial people, and they had hired consultants. And this is before Mercy had built their hospital. So there was a desert, a medical desert between Beloit Memorial and St. Anthony's. So you could make an argument that this was really needed. And so now Mercy has been built, and I just expect there to be opposition because anyway, they can't use that excuse.
Well, you're spot on because it was Mercy that asked for this public hearing.
Okay. I knew July Day was gonna be.
Yes, the minute request became public, then this came about, but they're required to, so.
Well, if I can go to that 30th meeting, I appreciate it.
Right, going on, the treasurer's report, cash report with bills. If you take a look at the cash report, you have before you expenditures tonight totaling $87,728.98. You have payroll totaling $99,511.62, making general expenditures or total expenditures out of the general fund tonight of $187,240.60, leaving in our pooled checking account after the expenditures $8,847,930.20. There are no expenditures out of the motor fuel fund this evening. And that leaves a motor fuel fund balance of $1,521,807.86. May I have a motion to pay the bills?
So moved. Second.
Questions related to the bills? Right, hearing none. We have a motion and a second.
Simon,
Yes.
Petty,
Yes.
Babcock,
Yes.
Wright,
Thank you.
Yes.
Malco.
Yes.
Item number 6, may I have a motion to, first, there is no revenue to expenditures report. We did that 2 weeks ago. Item number 6, may I have a motion to approve issuance of class F license to Pietros of Roscoe at 5724 Elevator Road.
So moved.
Second.
Malco,
Yes.
Petty,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Simon.
Yes.
Babcock.
Yes.
Thank you. Item 7, may I have a motion to approve the issuance of a Class D on premises beer and wine liquor license for Jessica's Restaurant operating at 5091 Edgemere Court, Roscoe.
Second.
Simon,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Malco,
Yes.
Babcock,
Yes.
Petty.
Yes.
Taking a look at 8 and 9 may, if no one objects, may we take both of these together? Consider them under the consent agenda. I'll just read them. Motion to approve issuance of a special event permit for National Night Out to take place on Tuesday, August 6th on Main Street between Bridge Street and the bridge. Item number 9, approval of resolution 2024 R31, approving an agreement with Maintain X Incorporated for CMMS software with a credit amount of $5,439.60. Motion.
Second.
Babcock,
Yes.
Betty,
Yes.
Malco,
Yes.
Simon,
Yes.
Right.
Yes. Can I ask what time that is Tuesday, just so it starts?
Is it in the document there? I don't know at the time of my head.
National Night Out.
5,
It's 6 to 8.
16.
Thank you.
And thank you for bringing it up, because then our regular meeting will be on Wednesday, August 7th. Item number 10. Is there a motion to approve resolution 2024 R33, a change? Oh, Did we? No,
Consent.
Okay.
so we did.
Yeah, we're fine.
Okay. Item number 10. Is there a motion to approve resolution 2024 R33, a change order with Rock Road Companies for curb replacement and other related issues associated with the residential street program come to be known as the construction there in Promontory and some parts of Hidden Creek. Change order of $65,626.40. After a motion and a second, we can direct questions to Brandon.
So. Second.
Okay, anything you would like to add about this, please?
So I'll just summarize this again. Essentially, what we have here is a change order for some curb replacement that we deem as necessary in order to protect the integrity of the roadway. Following the pavement removal operations, there was quite a few number of spots where the curb was completely deteriorated and we felt it needed to be replaced. Because our pre-construction inspections did not really show these issues, we did not have pay items for concrete curb and gutter replacement and some of the other miscellaneous items that you see in that change order. So we had to get pricing from Rock Road, which led to this. There was some back and forth. They sent me over original pricing. I negotiated with them, sent them bid pricing from actually some of their previously bid projects of this year in Winnebago to try to bring that number down. We got it down a little bit, but essentially this is the agreement that we came to that we wanted to present to the board. So in your packets, I think I did do an agenda summary. So it talks about the total project budget when estimated during budget time was just shy of just over $1 million. The contract award for Rock Road was $687,000 and some change, and then this change order total is $65,000 and some change. So about 10%, a little under 10% of the contract. So not nothing, but essentially we deem this as necessary. So we would like to get your approval.
And at the end of the construction, the hope is, once all of the measurements are done, that there will be some economies realized so that the net result will be.
Correct. So as of this point, what we have measured to date, I'll give you one specific example. We plan for a certain estimated percentage of undercuts in the roadway where we run into bad aggregate bases in the roadway. We are not using, I think we had almost $40,000 planned for that pay item. We're saving about $30,000 on that pay item and some change. So all in all, between those pay items from what we have measured right now, I believe that we're going to be saving about $50,000, $50,000 to $60,000 on the contract. Obviously with this change order that kind of negates some of the savings that we're doing, but just wanted to let you know that we are doing our best to try to mitigate the impact to the overall contract and keep things on budget.
One pocket to the other.
Exactly. And then so another thing that I wanted to update you on, the residents of the Promontory Ridge subdivision have been updated. I contacted Keith Liston, the HOA president. We did get a timeline from the contractor when these improvements would be done. They did not want to start and open up construction during the holiday weekend, even more than it already is. So they are proposing to start the removal processes on Monday of next week. More than likely, the removals and prep for that are going to take the entire week of next week. And then ultimately that will follow into pouring and at the tail end of this coming up week. And then finalizing the finished grading of the roadway and then paving the week following. So as of right now, our best guess for an overall completion date is going to be around the July 19th, Friday. So about 2.5 weeks from today, hopefully. Obviously, that's weather permitting. Things go smoothly in the field. We don't run into any more issues, but that is the proposed completion date as of right now.
And I'm sure all of you are aware that Mother Nature has set up some challenges with this, and Public Works and Brandon have been very, very responsive to all of the residents' concerns and have mobilized to do temporary repairs so that people could access their property. But it's been one challenge after another.
Can I add on that?
Oh, certainly.
Yeah, so this is my neighborhood, so I want, first of all, a couple of comments and question. One, thanking the Public Works, we had that torrential downpour, and I think President Guston underestimates or understates the amount of craziness that was out there. It was just gravel was all over the place, and Public Works went out on a Sunday, did a great job. So I want to commend Troy and his team for doing such a great job on that. They went over and above. They went from getting a bunch of calls, everybody was like, this is horrible, to everybody was happy. So thank you for that. As far as the curbs go, and I think that that's something that we couldn't have planned for. And I think the residents do understand, the HOA understands that they want to get it done right rather than just, it's like immediately we need to have this paid for dealing against some of the residents. But I think that once we did a good job of explaining it, Joe put out a message on next door, we got to the HOA. It's a good example of communicating with the residents there. And then my third question or comment is there's a lot of pooling
Location.
on the corner of Red Rose and Promontory that wasn't there before. It's actually even today I went out there, it's right in front of my house. But it's we need to figure out what's going on there.
Yep.
Do you have any comments or?
So no, we've looked at it. Essentially, we're going to have to shoot some grade on there. We think it's just a low spot in the curb. For some reason, it did not pool there previously, even though that curb has not changed. At least, from all the accounts that we've gotten there. So we didn't change anything as far as curb elevations in that area. I'm wondering, so we're going to also bring the contractor out there to look at it and see if it's a paving issue and maybe it's not a curb issue. But essentially, yes, we are addressing it. And if it does end up unfortunately leading to an area where we have to replace a little bit of the curb, that is an area that's already paved. So it may be a pavement patch in front of the curb, which is not ideal, but standing water on a roadway is less ideal than having a patch in the roadway.
It's, it's actually covering almost the whole road. It never, it's not even a pool. It's like, it's
Just doesn't dissipate.
No, it hasn't. And it's
24 hours.
Yeah, but it never, I've never seen it.
Yep. So it is definitely on our radar as another potential location that we will identify. I'm actually meeting my inspector, I believe tomorrow. We're going to go out there and look at that area. We got a few areas of drainage concerns throughout the subdivision, mainly through complaints of residents. We've come to an agreement with Public Works where we're going to actually help the residents with some of their drainage swales and getting those clear and free of sediment and debris and things like that, so we don't have other areas of pooling water on the roadways. The specific example that Mike is talking about is not one of those areas. It's not a homeowner maintenance issue. It just appears to be a curb related issue with settling curb. So we will look at that. We will address it and repair that as needed. So
thank you from behalf of the residents.
yeah. And then one thing I do want to address, I know you said that, it's not something that we could have planned for. But what we are actually going to do in future projects to make sure this doesn't happen again, especially with change order pricing and this kind of project, is we're going to implement what are called contingency line items. So when you have items where you're not expecting to use them, but you still want to have a price, that way, if for some reason an issue comes up, you have a set price with the contractor to do work like this. So for instance, in a project like this, we have curb and gutter, we do an inspection, we don't appear to find any areas where curb needs to be replaced. We will assume some value or some quantity of curb repair, have the contractor submit a price. That way, if we ever need it, we're not having delays like this. So we've talked internally with our team, talked with Troy about it. We think it's a good, I guess, fix to hopefully prevent this in the future as well.
Very good.
Anyone else? Thank you. Right, we did the vote.
Babcock,
Yes.
Malaco,
Yes.
Petty,
Yes.
Sima,
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Right, new business. May I have a motion to suspend the rules and make number 11 a final vote?
So moved. Second.
Petty,
Yes.
Malaco,
Yes.
Babcock,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Sima.
Yes.
I may have a motion to approve resolution 2024 R32, authorizing an agreement with Homer Industries for the purchase and installation of playground safety mulch at 5 of the village parks for the quoted amount of $33,202.50.
So moved. Second.
Questions?
The rubber stuff.
It's the safety mulch, that has to be at, I don't know what depth, but an official depth. And it's the amount that will be sprayed to save time to get it in. And once this is installed, Public Works goes back and drusses it occasionally, year after year, based on those areas that wear a little bit more. And you see that you have 3 proposals in front of you. At Homer Industries here is not only the lowest price, but has the most efficient way of putting it down. Any other questions? Do we have a motion and a second?
Wright,
Yes.
Sima,
Yes.
Babcock,
Yes.
Petty,
Yes.
Malaco.
Yes.
Under questions and reports, are there any questions that we haven't addressed? And if they do take a longer amount or some research, it'd be really great if you just shoot me an email, and then at our next meeting, we can go thorough study. Public comment, any public comment? Executive session, may I have a motion to go into executive session for discussion regarding possible litigation?
So moved.
Second.
Babcock,
Yes.
Sima,
Yes.
Malaco,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Petty.
Yes.
Shall we move to align office?
Oh.